Okay, I started my flight several hours ago when I opened a Potter's Special Old Canadian whiskey. After that one, I had a Royal Braclaw 16-year-old at 40%. Very nice. I was very surprised by that and how good it was. After the Royal Braclaw, I went all out and had a 15-year-old Lafroig, which was a 200 anniversary celebratory edition of Lafroig, bottled at 43% alcohol by volume, and it was delicious. The peat was not overpowering. There was a lot of lime notes to it, and a lot of that briny seaside kind of sea spray thing going on. Lovely dram. After that one, I had a Dark Horse, Alberta Premium Dark Horse, which is rye whiskey basically, and 9% of it is bourbon and 1% of it is sherry. After doing that, I went and had a marvelous, fantastic Glen Keith Cooper's Choice bottling, um, distilled in 1993 and bottled in 2015. And it had a Madeira cask finish at 46% ABV. That was wonderful, and donated by Rob from the Spirit Safe. Beautiful stuff. After that one, I went and had some of this while editing and while waiting for things to render and while watching other videos. A Glendalough double barrel. Good stuff. It's 42% alcohol by volume, and it's made from malted and unmalted barley. So it's got some of that graininess to it, which is, not unexpected from Irish whiskey. Very, very nice. Very nice dram. That was my sixth. Here is the seventh. I don't know if I saved the best for last, but this is also a Speyside. Speyside blended malt Scotch from Macaloney. This is at cask strength as well. It is a blending of Benrinnes and Glenlossie. It is, let me get this right, 750 mils at 58.5% alcohol by volume. It is one of only 1,198 bottles. I think these are still available at the distillery. There's some dust on here. I bought this at the distillery last summer. Let's see now. Last summer, and the date was July 15th of 2017. I bought this. Isla Malt Space. That's the Speyside one, right? $93.17. Plus, of course, the GST and the liquor tax, which was about $15 on top of that 93. So about $107, $108 for this bottle, which is bottled at cask strength. What did it say on there again? 56.5% alcohol by volume. It has here a little booklet thing that was around the neck, like stuck on by this thing. And what does it say? I'm going to have to read this, just because. Speyside TWA Casks. TWA is Scots for two. Macaloney Distillers Ltd, Scottish whiskey makers. Mike Nicholson, Dr. Jim Swan, and Dr. Graham Macaloney join forces to bring you this unique collectible series of 6 vatted malt Scotch whiskies for your enjoyment. 6? Okay. The fun organoleptic exploration encompasses 3 vattings from Islay, Highland, and Speyside regions of Scotland. Each regional vatting contains TWA distillery single malt scotches, including a distillery where Mike previously distilled, and are bottled at 46 or cask strength for fuller experience. Our initial series of 3 regional bottlings come direct from single ex-bourbon casks, while the remaining series of 3 bottlings are further matured, finished that is, in Dr. Jim Swan's proprietary recharred and red wine barriques from Portugal. We wish you much enjoyment as you explore our TWA casks. 6 cask strength or 46% bottlings from 3 Scotch regions and 2 wonderfully different oakwood maturations traditionally made by Scots. And I've had some of those. Visit our Victoria Caledonian distillery for guided tours, tutor tastings, and blah blah blah. Ha ha. And Speyside TWA Casks and malt whiskey. Well, I've had. This is the 3rd of the vatted malt whiskeys that I will have tried. I've tried the Islay and the Highland. I have those open. They're all cask strength. I also have 2 46% bottles. One's a Highland and one's a Speyside. And I also have had the Prince Dougal's Dram and the Among the Heather. I have another bottle of Among the Heather, which I just bought last night or tonight. And I have another bottle of their stuff that they make themselves. It's 1 year old, and it's going to get better, of course, as it ages. But I got the 1 year old whiskey. You can't call it whiskey because it's only 1 year old, but it's a spirit. And I forget the name of it. It's under the table. I'm not going to grab it right now. I did that earlier. If you've been watching for the last couple of weeks, you'll have an idea what it is that I'm talking about. Okay, don't forget, this is my 7th dram tonight. I started about 6 hours ago. No, maybe 5 hours ago. I don't know. I forgot what time it was. I think it was 8:30 or 9, and now it's just after 2, so 5 or 6 hours ago. Let's give this one. Oh, it's tight little cork. Come on. There we go. Oh yeah, it's got one of those composite plastic coated corks. See now. Oh yeah, this is going to be my last one tonight because cask strength. I worked myself up to cask strength, although the last whiskey I had was only 42%. The one before that was a 46, and this one is at 53 something. 56.5% alcohol by volume. A blending of Benrinnes and Glenlossie. Yes. And we are talking again Speyside. So the last one was Irish, but the one, I was generous. I'm going to be real fucked up after this one. Oh, and here's what the bottle looks like, just so you know for sure for next time you're looking for it. This is available only at the distillery. They still have some. So run down there and get yourself a bottle. Ooh. You know, the first time I nosed one of these bottlings from Macaloney's, I had my reservations, but as it opened up, it got better. And this is just beautiful on the nose already. It is fruity, it is fresh. I can't really pick out which fruits we're talking about. Well, maybe I can. Let's see. The thing I'm getting first is pineapple, mango, tropical fruits, papaya, that kind of thing. It smells delicious. It is fruity, it is tropical fruits. I don't know how they get the flavor of tropical fruits into there, but that is what I'm getting. These are bourbon barrel matured. There's caramel. The caramel is quite distant, but I'm quite sure that as the fruits move aside, the caramel gets stronger. And this is what I'm getting now. The caramel is getting stronger. Along with the caramel, there is some vanilla. It's almost like a custard, like a vanilla jello pudding. Stuff I loved when I was a kid. What else am I getting out of this? Just a beautiful, harmonious blend so far. Oh, what a nice nose. It's fresh, it's fruity, it's tropical. It's vanilla, it's caramel. It is just lovely and well worth all the $100 and a bit dollars, Canadian dollars that is, CAD. So we're talking about $80 American. But it's cask strength. And it's Scotch whiskey. It's whiskey from Scotland that was vatted either in Scotland or in Canada and bottled in Canada. Just a few blocks from where I live. And as I go, there are less and less fruits and more caramel and vanilla. And as far as I can tell, its natural color, as you can see, it's rather on the pale side. Intense. Oh. Intense fruity. Papayas. Mangoes, cantaloupes. Caramel. Vanilla. Oh. Intense. Why did I pour so much? You know what's a funny thing is that Logic would dictate that you pour just a little bit of this cask strength stuff, but when I get cask strength stuff, for some reason, I overcompensate and pour more than I really need to. You know, amazingly enough, when I nose this, even though it's bottled at 56 point something percent, 56.5, on the nose there is no burn. With 56.5%, you would expect that the nose hair would catch fire when you took a sniff of this. But it doesn't. It doesn't even smell strong. It smells harmonious. And there's no burn on the nose at all. Very smooth. And every flavor, all the caramel and the tropical fruits are well carried by the high ABV. And we've got some legs. Yeah, we got some legs. The first ones shoot down, but then the second ones take a while. Caramel. No burn at all. It's somewhat dry. A lot of caramel. 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 The fruits have gone aside. Now I'm just getting a lot of caramel. And strength. It's not like a burn, but it's like a coating. It's coating my mouth all over. And I guess the alcohol is kind of drying towards the end. I'm going to experiment a little bit and add a bit of water. That's a bit. But this is 56%. If I brought it down to 53 or 52, I will have done my job. Oh, okay. Excuse me. This is, don't forget, my 7th dram. I'm not ashamed to admit that I've had 6 drams before this one. We'll do our half-speed nosing. A lot of caramel. A bit of vanilla with it, as it was aged in ex-bourbon barrels. Benrinnes and Glenlossie. Yeah, mostly caramel. It's a little more approachable with a bit of water. But you know, every time I take a sip, I'm getting farther away from my sweet spot, which is just inebriated. It's not drunk and it's not sober. It's somewhere in between. But every time I take a sip of this, I get closer to being drunk. just because of the high ABV. With a little bit of water, was less than a spoonful that I gave it. But there's no burn at all. It's just a caramel toffee. A sweet caramel toffee that is just delicious. I'm not getting much of anything else. Sweet caramel toffee. I'm not getting any great big fruity notes anymore. It's just caramel toffee. Caramel toffee. That's it. There's no age statement on this. I don't imagine that it's very old. If it's 4 or 5 years old, that's a lot. It's really, really pale. Even the whole bottle is kind of pale. It's not dark. See, against my shirt, it's not really dark. It's quite light. And it smells delicious. On the nose, I get more fruits than I do on the palate. I take another pull of this, I'll get drunk. It's just so strong. I have added some water. It's just a delicious little dram. And what do I smell? Caramel with just a hint of vanilla. Fruits. No, the fruit is indistinct. There's something fruity there, but I can't pinpoint it. I can't say that it's pear. I can't say that it's apple. I can't say that it's plum. It's just something vaguely fruity. Salty. Along with the caramel, it's salty. It's like saltwater taffy. Yeah, that's it. And then creeping up from behind, there's something fruity. I don't think it's citrus. It's something between an apple and a pear, and it's quite subtle. Oh, this is marvelous stuff. And I imagine that it will get even better as it opens up. As previous bottlings from Macaloney have shown me. Stuff from the Victoria Caledonian Distillery. And getting back to a slightly earlier video, if I was on a desert island, if I was on a desert island as postulated by Trenian Sea, or if I was on a desert island on the Turanian Sea, I wouldn't mind having this along as the only whiskey. Salty, salty, salty. And now that I get to it, there's a tiny little bit of smoke. Very tiny little bit of smoke. Along with the intense saltiness. It's beguiling, you know, because this stuff changes as you go along. And, oh, marvelous stuff. I'll tell you what, before I make a fool of myself and get extremely drunk, I'm going to cut it right about here and say Slancheva.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.